This is kind of reminding me of Amy Schumer and Netflix all over again. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about IMDB making the change to their rating system after alleged review bombing of the Little Mermaid movie. Now, you guys know what's going on with this movie. It is very controversial because of the race swap. That's the main thing. That's the main reason why it's controversial. Now, if you're right around my age, or maybe you just seen some of the older films that have come about in our society, you remember this particular Little Mermaid right here. You probably saw that movie. You remember the crab right there, Sebastian, singing Under the Sea. That's what you remember if you are an 80s, 90s, maybe even 70s or before baby. Okay, but the new movie, the live action adaptation of The Little Mermaid, has swapped the race. And now we have Halle Bailey, not Halle Berry, Halle Bailey, who is also a singer. She is now a Little Mermaid. So that's her right there on the poster. And by the way, Halle Bailey, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I mean, some guys may not like her. They might not like the way her eyes look. Look, drop dead gorgeous, but different story. I digress. Let me get back focused. There's controversy over the race swapping. Now, let me just say right here, personally, I think that race swapping is kind of whack. I think that there should be new IPs for characters of different races rather than just taking the old movie, an old IP, and just swapping the race. I don't really like that too much, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go review bomb the movie because I've not seen the movie. It could be a great movie. I have no idea of knowing whether it is a good movie or whether it's not. But a lot of people are review bombing IMDb. Now, let me explain what review bombing is in case you don't know. So review bombing is when people will go to IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, or whatever, and they'll leave a bunch of negative reviews because they're protesting against a particular thing in the movie, but they're not reviewing the movie itself. You see what I mean? It's just like, it happens a lot with video games too. Okay, it could be a perfectly fine video game. Everybody loves it. If you go to Steam or wherever you buy your video games, it can have a review of overwhelmingly positive for most of its life. But then recently it'll say something like mixed or mostly negative because maybe there was a change made that the community of gamers who play the game all the time don't like. But if you're a newbie, if you're a regular normie going into the game, you may love it. Same thing with Little Mermaid. If you are the target audience of the Little Mermaid, little kids basically going with their parents, you probably have never seen the original. You have no prior frame of reference. So you're going into it totally fresh. You're not going to have the same experience as somebody that was born in 1984 who is looking at what's going on right now and not feeling the political stuff behind it. You're going to go into it as a little 6-year-old girl with your Little Mermaid outfit on. You may enjoy it if it's a good movie. Now, let's get into the article right here to see what's going on. The Little Mermaid negative reviews compel IMDb to change rating system. And to go back to what I was saying earlier about Netflix and Amy Schumer. Now, Amy Schumer put out a comedy special on Netflix some years ago. And during this time when she put the comedy special out, you could rate Netflix content, I think, with a 5-star system. If that's wrong, let me know in the comments below. But her special got review bombed so much, they completely abolished that system. Now they have the percentage calculator. Oh, you may like this at a 95% rate. The Amy Schumer Netflix comedy special changed that. Now, I'm not quite sure if IMDb will go to that extreme for this, but they're kind of headed in that direction. Okay, because of review bombing. Let's get into the article right here. So it says they're making waves. The Internet Movie Database, IMDb, has changed its rating system for the newly released live-action Little Mermaid amid unusual voting activity called review bombing. You know, people that probably have not watched the movie, who are upset with a thing that the movie has done, they're giving it a 1-star rating, negative comments. That's kind of going on. And I don't really like that for movies because, like, watch the movie. It might be a good movie. You might not like the race swapping, but that's inconsequential to whether the movie is good or not, in my humble opinion. Let's keep on going here. So The Holly Berry led film has a 7 out of 10 rating on the site. And I think that is right in the same line with the reviewers. And that can be weird too. Let me just talk about that right quick. I'm going to come right back to this. Let me come back so you can see me clearly. The regular critics, people that get paid to be critics or journalists and whatnot, they also review bomb movies. They review bomb movies and they give movies unreasonably high ratings. If you go to Rotten Tomatoes, it'll be a movie that is categorically bad. I mean, everybody, not everybody, I would say 8 out of 10 people that watch the movie say that it's bad. Not because of some kind of political thing, not because of race swapping, not because of any kind of prior negative viewpoints toward the actors, the actresses, the directors, the production house. It's not even about that. The movie is just bad. The viewers will give it a very negative rating because it's so bad, and they'll say why it's bad. But then the critics will give it an overwhelmingly positive rating. Why? Oh, because it may have LGBTQ elements in there. It may have some racial stuff in there. Just like, what's a good example? What's the name of that movie called? Moonlight or something about the 2 gay black dudes in Florida. I watched that movie actually because I wanted to see if it was good or not. Again, I'm not going to go into it automatically saying it's going to be bad because it's of the subject matter. I watched the movie. It was not a good movie. It was not a good movie, but I think that kind of film would get all kind of award nominations. This is how pretentious and fake and woke Hollywood is. All right. So let's not just say that the viewers, regular people at the crib, are review bombing and giving these movies unfair ratings. You also got the same thing going on from the critics' point of view, from the Hollywood elite point of view. Let's get back into the article. Let's dive right back into it. It says a few crabby users, the pun right there, under the sea, Sebastian the Crab anyway, but a few crabby users, also known as review bombers, are allegedly giving the Disney flick negative scores for no good reason. Quote, our rating mechanism has detected unusual voting activity on this title to preserve the reliability of our rating system. An alternate weighting calculation has been applied. A note on the US, Canadian, UK, Brazilian, and Mexican Little Mermaid pages reads, IMDB continues on its frequently asked questions page. Although we accept and consider all votes received by users, not all votes have the same impact or weight on the final rating. So some of the votes are going to be discarded, essentially, if they detect that there is some review bombing activity going on. Because sometimes it's kind of obvious. They'll give it a 1-star rating, and then they'll leave like a race-related comment, a racist comment. You could go ahead and throw that one out because it's not related to whether the movie is good or not. All right? So that's the poster right there of Halle Bailey as Ariel, the Little Mermaid. And again, I think she's beautiful, gorgeous. Clearly, that's not really, that's a lot of CGI going on. But in real life, amazing, totally amazing. But I've not seen the movie, so I can't say whether it's good or not. I would implore anybody who is worried about the movie to just watch it. And that's her right there. I'm not sure who these people are. Is that Rebel Wilson? I think. Melissa McCarthy. I get them all confused. Get some of the chunky actresses. I can't really tell the difference. Don't nobody get offended. I digress. So, yeah, there's a lot of review bombing going on, and IMDb is throwing out some of the ratings. I understand that 100%. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I think people should just watch the movie and see if it's good or not, rather than just review bombing. And the same thing with other things. With video games, it's really big in the video game world because people that really play a lot of these games is in the community of video gamers. They will protest the game by review bombing it in order to get changes made. And it's similar to what's happening right now with Target, and the whole LGBT clothing for children thing. Their pages may get review bombed as far as like individual locations. Maybe the company itself might get review bombed. And I think that's more of a valid thing because if you're reviewing Target, what are you reviewing? Are you reviewing the products there? Not necessarily. I mean, you can review the individual products on the website, but I think if you are review bombing Target, you are review bombing the experience. So at that point, it's not really bombing. It's just a real review. hey, I went to Target on this location and I saw LGBTQ element of peace stuff for children, chest binding and tucking for 2-year-old little boys and girls. I don't like that. I'm going to give you a 0 out of 10, a 1 star, or whatever the lowest rating is. I think that's appropriate. But for Little Mermaid, watch the movie. If it sucks, give it a bad rating. If it's good, give it a good rating. The political elements and whatnot you can have as an opinion, and that's fine. But whenever I watch a particular thing, I try to go into it objectively. Again, I watched that LGBT movie with the 2 gay black dudes in it. Okay, what was that, Moonlight or something? I think that's what it was called. I did not like the subject matter from the beginning, from the jump, but I watched it objectively to see if it was good or not, and it was not good. It was not good. It was trash. And a lot of these films are like that. Now, I can't necessarily tell you the time where I watched the movie and was surprised, but I have been surprised sometimes. I went into it with no expectations, not, expecting to get blown away or whatever, and then I was pleasantly surprised. Sometimes that does happen. But again, just be open, go into it with an open mind, rather than just saying, oh, it's trash right away without even looking at it. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about IMDB altering the way that they rank certain reviews on their site for Little Mermaid and potentially other films? Is it a good thing, bad thing? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. Have you seen the new movie yourself? You take your kids to go watch it. What was your experience? Was it good, bad, in the middle? Again, I've not seen it, and quite frankly, I don't remember watching the first one. I remember Sebastian singing Under the Sea, but I don't remember the actual movie if I watched it. But have you seen it? Was it good, bad, somewhere in the middle? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I understand political points of view, and you might not like a thing for this, that, and the third. But when you're talking about television, film, maybe even the video game, you should experience it for yourself to see what it's about. Now, some things you don't have to experience, okay? If you see Target selling clothing for children that has chest binding in it, you don't got to, you can see what's going on right there. You don't like that fact. What more is it to experience? But Little Mermaid and other things, it's content for you to consume. Consume the content. If it's good, then it's good. If it's not, then it's not. Like a restaurant, same thing. Okay, if you go to the restaurant, eat the food, is it good or bad? You might have heard something bad about the owner. You may not like them, but is the food good though? Talk about that part. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.